We post, we scroll, we forget. Not just the photos, but the effort, the intention, the moment that made us reach for the camera in the first place. You waited for the light. You adjusted the frame. You saw something real and held it still. And within minutes of sharing it, it's buried. Buried under noise, buried under speed, buried under content that doesn't even try to mean anything. And this quiet question starts to follow you. What's the point of making something real if no one sees it? Because this isn't why you started. You didn't shoot for applause. You didn't edit for reach. You made the image because something in that scene whispered, "This matters." And that kind of work doesn't deserve to vanish. It deserves to live, to linger, to mean something, even if only to you. So maybe the problem isn't your photography. Maybe the problem is where you've been putting it. There's a particular kind of ache that doesn't get talked about much. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, it's just silence. You make something that matters to you and the world shrugs. No comments, a handful of likes, and then nothing. Not rejection, just invisibility. At first you brush it off, you tell yourself it's the algorithm, bad timing, it's oversaturation, it's fine. But over time, the silence begins to shape you. You hesitate, you overthink, you start to shoot for reach, not meaning. You trade risk for safety, wander for performance, because somewhere along the line, the platforms we post on stop asking what we see and started demanding what performs. They train you to stay in rhythm, to be predictable, to be quick. And the cost of staying visible is often the very thing that made your work worth sharing in the first place. That instinct, that voice, that sense of why. So now you're left asking a deeper question. Is it still about what I see or just about being seen? And if it's the second, maybe the answer isn't to scream louder. Maybe it's to build something quieter. What if your portfolio wasn't built to impress, but to remember? Not just a pitch, not a polished highlight reel, but something slower, more honest. A quiet archive of what you've seen and who you've become while seeing it. Because likes dwindle, trends change, and the work that once felt good enough to share can vanish as fast as you scroll. But a body of work, honestly made, can outlast all of it. Not because it's perfect, but because it holds something real. There was a time when I thought my portfolio had to do everything. It had to be clean, impressive, strategic. It had to win attention on command, so I kept it tight. Only the best. Only what I thought people wanted to see. And it worked, technically. But I'd look at it and feel nothing. No memory, no process, just output, just polish. It felt like a billboard. But now, it feels more like a sketchbook. Some images are there because they meant something. Some are there because they confused me. Some just never found a place until now. And that change matters because your portfolio can be more than a performance. It can be a place where the noise dies down, where your images don't need to compete, they just need to breathe. It can be a space that reflects what shaped you, not just what you want others to see, but what you want to hold on to. A place not to prove yourself, but to return to yourself. Because in the end, a meaningful photography portfolio isn't just about visibility, it's about voice. So how do you actually create a portfolio that reflects that voice, not just your output? Here are a few ideas that have helped me. Start by curating your work by story or emotion, not just by genre or event. Don't just ask, what kind of photography is this? Ask, why did I make this? Instead of naming your galleries portraits, weddings, or travel 2026, try titles like The Quiet Light, What Stayed, or Things I Never Posted. Categories tell people what it is, but stories tell people who you are. And in a world obsessed with metadata, voice matters more than metadata. Next, don't limit your portfolio to polished, public-ready work. That's not what memory looks like. Include the experiments that didn't quite land, the images that made you feel something, even if you're not sure what. Some of my favorite galleries are private, just for me. They aren't about being seen, they're about seeing. They help me to track the thread between ideas, even when no one else is looking. Over time, I've found a portfolio can show you more than what you've done. It can reveal who you've been, the images you return to, the ones you almost deleted, the moments you didn't understand until years later. Sometimes I'll scroll through mine and realize I've been photographing the same question again and again, just in different light. A portfolio isn't just a place to organize your work. It's a place to listen to it. And if there's an image that lingers, but you don't quite know why, try writing something beside it. A sentence, a phrase, not to explain the photo, but to remember the part of you that noticed it in the first place. Because memory fades, but words can anchor intention. And finally, design without restraint. Let the stillness carry. Avoid autoplay, pop-ups, or anything that demands attention, because the more quiet your portfolio becomes, the more clearly your images can speak. Stillness isn't emptiness, it's reverence. Now, there are plenty of ways to build something like this, but for me, I needed a space that was simple, intentional, and quiet. Something that felt like it honored the work, not just presented it. Eventually, I realized I didn't need more visibility. I needed more clarity. I didn't need another place to post. I needed a space to build, not for reach or marketing, just somewhere to lay my work down and look at it honestly. That's what led me to Pixpa. I wasn't looking for features. I was looking for quiet, for simplicity, for something that wouldn't try to compete with the work itself, and Pixpa gave me that. I started with one of their minimalist templates, something clean, modern, and spacious. It didn't try to sell the images, it just carried them. Their drag and drop tools made it easy to organize my galleries, not just by category, but by story, by tone, even by mood. I could group images based on what they felt like, not just where or when they were taken. I created private galleries for projects I wasn't ready to share. And when I wanted to say more, their blogging tools were right there, quiet, integrated, and easy to use. I didn't need plugins. I didn't need multiple platforms. Pixpa let me write, share, deliver, and archive everything in one place. And that changed how I saw my own work. Because when the tools disappear, the images start to speak. Now, I'm not saying Pixpa is the only way, but it gave me the clarity I'd been missing. And for photographers who sell their work, Pixpa has built-in tools to sell prints and digital downloads, create custom client galleries, and even build mobile gallery apps as keepsakes. I haven't used everything in it, but I like knowing those tools are there, quietly available, without making the platform feel noisy or transactional. The world moves fast. Too fast for most things to matter for long. But your photography, the real work, the quiet work, deserves more than a disappearing post. You didn't make it for the feed. You made it for the moment, for the light, for the stillness you felt when everything aligned and you pressed the shutter. That kind of work isn't disposable. It isn't content. It's memory. It's voice. It's the visual echo of how you saw the world before anyone else did. So don't let it vanish under algorithms and scroll fatigue. Preserve it, not for performance, but for meaning. Give your work a place to stay, not just to be seen, but to be understood, to be remembered, to be yours. Let the feed keep moving, but somewhere on your terms, let the work stay still. Because even if no one else sees it, you did, and that, quietly, powerfully, is enough. If this spoke to something you've been feeling, if it helped you see your work a little differently, consider subscribing. I make videos for photographers who care more about meaning and not just metrics. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can always buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. As for Pixpa, if you're ready to build a quieter, more intentional home for your photography, it's a platform worth exploring. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep shooting.